So I'm going to do this next video. This next one is going to be on the test route in Milton Keynes. Now, if you speak to your instructor, they're going to say to you there's easy routes and hard routes in Milton Keynes. This route I'm going to do is what I think is one of the easier routes that you could come across on your driving test. Now, if you want to look at one of the hardest routes, then I'll put a link above so you can see it, and you can click on that and have a look at one of the hardest routes I think in Milton Keynes. And this is just my opinion. The reason why I think it's easy, because there's nothing too tricky on there, and providing that you're up to test standard, you should find it quite easy to do. I'll take you on it, and I'll talk about the route while we're driving along, what sort of things you're going to come across, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. If you do, click like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay then, I'll just switch the camera around and we'll get started. So we're just setting off from Wilton Avenue, and like I said at the beginning, this route, it's not particularly the hardest. It has a few tricky bits, but nothing too bad. We'll just do a right turn at the end, so it's centre mirror right. So you just come out of test centre on the left, we just passed it. And it's important that you take your time in the first few minutes, you don't rush out anywhere. You stop. If you're not sure, you have a good look, right, left, right. You're waiting for the safe gap. And just keep reminding yourself that you're there because you've been having driving lessons. Your instructor has told you you're good enough to take your driving test, so which means that a lot at that point. We're going to go left at the roundabout. There's mirrors to the left, signal left. Nothing particularly hard. And then the match is pull over on the left, so there's a nice spot there. Check your mirrors to the left, signalling, bringing yourself in, slowing down to stop. They're pulling you over, they're checking that you're pulling over at a safe place. I mean, sometimes they'll ask you to pull over at certain points. Sometimes they'll say to you, pull over where it's convenient and safe. See the car coming through, so I'm not going to take any chances. It's not worth the risks. He's racing, slowing down, letting him get out of the way, checking what's happening behind you. There's a silver car waiting to go through. And then I'm going to pull over in front of this car on the left, but one car left behind it. It's the sort of thing you do. So you check your mirrors, definitely a car there, let them know I'm pulling over, and I'm slowing down, so one car left behind it. I'm not going to be there long, because all I want to check is that you're going to pull off safely and under control and give yourself space from the car. So it's a nice check round, a nice big turn to avoid the car, controlling that clutch nice and holding the clutch nice and slow. Up the road, make sure it's clear. So you're slowing down again. So it's not a particularly hard route, it's just meeting traffic in the first few minutes. Could get asked to pull over in the first couple of minutes. You might be driving for the first 5-10 minutes before you pull over. A lot depends on the route, but on this one they'll pull you over in the first couple of minutes. So at the end of here we're going to do a left turn, so let's check your mirrors to the left, signalling left, slowing down for the junction. If you can't see, remember what your instructor taught you, open and close junctions. So an open junction is one you can see on the approach, a closed junction is one that you can't see on the approach. If you can't see, you're slowing down for a suitable gear, then you might even have to stop approaching. Like to the first junction. The trickiest bit, I think, is what's coming up here is 2 mini roundabouts. We're going to go right at the first, left at the second. And I think this is the trickiest bit overall on the route. You're slowing down for a suitable gear, checking to your right, following it round, coming across to the left. You know you're going left, mirror signal left. Checking to your right again, still clear, carry on going. And the key to them double roundabouts is approach speed, good observations, being prepared to slow down and go into 30 if you need to. Got a person on the bike on the left, so you're slowing down because it's a little bit dangerous with the car parked up on the other side. And also you've got a, I call him lollipop person. See, she's not flagging it out yet, so I'm alright to carry on going. Because what they'll do is, if they want you to stop, they'll put the stick on the road with the stop sign tilted up so you can read it. And there usually be plenty of sign, because she was looking, but there's no one actually waiting. One person was approaching, but she's not going to suddenly stick the sign out in front of you. She's going to give you plenty of warning, otherwise you'll end up doing an emergency stop. So what I did, as I approached her, I kept a reasonable speed then, so that if she did want me to stop, I had plenty of time to do it. And keep the gap in front of the car in front of you. You know, I'm on a 30-mile-an-hour road, I'm coming out of Bletchley, I'm heading towards Newton Longville on this road. Got temporary lights ahead of us. Now if you look to the left, there's a junction, so see the van in front of me? Just block the junction. And the problem with that is, if a car is coming through the lights, coming towards us and wants to turn into that junction, he can't. He's blocked it. So use your common sense. Stop just short or just past the point where they can turn. But don't stop on the point where they turn, otherwise no one's going to get in. So we're just waiting patiently for the lights to change. And you see that there's a warning sign just on the left as we approached it, saying that it's going to go into one lane, so it looks like they've closed the lane on the right. So it's starting to move forward. So he's moving forward a little bit more, so he's got a bit more space, so the lights off is changing. So you check the lights, checking your right side, just in case there's a motorbike who's in a rush trying to get past you at some lights. Always check your side before you come out. It'll save someone's life doing that. So we're leaving Bletchley at this point. And then you just look at the road all the time. Don't look at the car in front of you, look beyond the car, see what the problems are. You've got warning sign of a double bend, left to right. You've got a warning sign of an arch bridge, underneath it's saying eyesight vehicles are going to be in the middle. You've got a sharp bend sign beyond that, and a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit, and 2 lanes going into one, possibly, it's saying. So you need to remember all that. So as you reading it, you kind of read ahead and pick up the signs, and it's telling you what's going to happen. Otherwise, you're going to be still doing 20-odd mile an hour when you're in a 40 road at this point. Little reminders coming up there. Repeaters, I call them, so smaller versions of the speed sign. So we're doing 38 miles an hour in a 40 zone, keeping a nice 2-second gap from the van in front of you. Now, if you do take your driving test and it's a sunny day, bring some glasses along, or a cap, whatever you feel comfortable with. But don't persevere with sun in your eyes. You'll get eye strain, you'll possibly make a mistake. If you can't see around the corner because the sun's in your eyes, then you should be slowing down a bit. If you can't see what you're doing, you'll end up swerving or driving something. So we've reached Newton Longville. Whenever you reach a village, the speed limit's going to come back down. We're just past the 30 sign. After this bend, you've got a warning sign on a crossroads coming up on the left. You can see the sign coming up. You'll see it come up in the next few seconds. We're going to do a right turn. So the next right turn coming up. So it's going to be a right turn at the crossroads. So you check your mirrors, let everyone know your intentions. Black car sticking out a bit, but it's not a problem for us at this point. There's nothing coming towards us. And back on the gas for the hill. Remember, you've got to do a reasonable speed. You can't trickle along at 20 miles an hour if it's clear. But at the same time, if it's not, you're slowing down for what's suitable. So I'm slowing down for this car because it's not wide enough. It's a little bit too narrow, a bit too risky. So if you think about it, the car on the left and the white line, to go past the car safely, you need a lot of space. And then we're going to pull over on the left before the learner. So check the mirrors and signal them. Now, this is the point when they do independent driving on this route. looks like the learner's pulling off. That's fine. So the independent driving, they'll always pull you over and ask you, and they say at this point we're going to do some independent driving. On this route we've got here, we're going to follow signs for Northampton. So some of them follow directions, this one's following road signs. So get ourselves ready, check round, no one around, lots of people there, so there's a signal required because they might try and cross the road with the prams around the parked car. So if you're driving along and you forget this, what you're doing, like you forget the sign, ask him, are we still following the signs for that? Or can you remind me what we're doing again with the signs? And they're quite happy to say, oh, follow the signs for Northampton. What they don't want to see you do is stop at a roundabout and then ask, or stop at a junction and then ask, because by then it could be causing a problem. So we're just following along, we're doing 30 mile an hour in a 30 zone, it's quite clear, keeping a nice safe gap from the car in front of you. You can see in the distance there's about 4 cars with a learner ahead of them, and see the speed limit going to 40. And this is where you've got to use common sense. When speed limits go higher, you've got to say, is it reasonable to do this close to the speed limit, or will that be dangerous? At the moment we're doing 38 in a 40 road. Now country roads do get bumpy, they can get bounced about, and they are narrow, there's lots of bends on them, so you just got to be careful and do what you think is reasonable. Ahead of us, we've got a brow of a hill, or back bridge. So you won't be thinking about overtaking here because it's too dangerous. It could be a car coming over the top. You won't know until it suddenly appeared. You can't see anything yet. And ahead of us, we've got the national speed limit sign. So the speed limit's going up to 60 after this sign here, this point here. So you have to make a decision. What's the safe speed to do on here? Is 60 too fast? I'd say it'd be too fast for a small narrow road. You could end up swerving, losing control. But a reasonable speed is what's required. So you could be getting up towards 50 if you're lucky. 60 would be a bit too quick for it on some parts. But on this next bit here, it straightens up, so you can put your foot down a bit more and just let them know that you know it's faster. So I'm reaching 50 at this point. I'm not doing 60 then. There's a bit of wind there on the road, outside. Lots of little hills on this road, nice straight one. So as you go over the brow of this hill coming up, you'll see the roundabout sign. This is Northampton, would be a right turn. Now there's no ahead, that's something you need to remember. It says at the sign there's no ahead, it's either left or right. Left to Buckingham, right to Northampton. Get your mirrors, do your signal, slowing down, caught up with the learner and the cars that had shot off. There's a little bit of a hill start here, so I always say use your handbrake on the hill, don't be shy about the handbrake, don't try and be show off. Just wait for them to move off, there's no rush, there's no point in getting your gas and biting point yet, you're just going to use gas up. So a little bit of gas now, starting to move, get your biting point, and just take your time. You rush towards it, you'll end up stopping. Checking to your right, it's quite a few cars, so I'm just taking my time. I'm lowering the clutch down, getting close to the white line. A little bit of gas, a little bit of clutch. Get that gear change, check them mirrors to the left, signalling, checking that shoulder to the left, across. If you're coming off into a dual carriageway off a roundabout, you check your left side and there's a car right next to you being silly, then take the right lane to come off, but then get back to the left when you can. So you're picking up the speed, dual carriageway, we're out the country road now, so there's no reason why you can't be doing 60 on here. Then we're going to follow signs for central Milton Keynes. Right lane for overtaking. So you're looking at the road, anyone going slow, here's your roundabout sign, central Milton Keynes to the left. Check your mirrors to the left, centre left, signal, slowing the speed down, get your speed down for reasonable gear, check it to the right, works out whether you need second or third gear. I'm going to take it in third to start with. And I'm slowing down because the car coming around fast into first gear, and I'm off. So I only stopped for a split second, but if that car had come, I would have been going through in third because it wasn't quite a big roundabout. Build the speed back up. Signs for central Milton Keynes, and we've just got reasonable speed. It's getting a little bit busier because it's the afternoon, it's 3:10 in the afternoon. It's a right turn, it's hitting the roundabout. Mirrors to the right, so centre mirror, right mirror, signalling, get your speed down. You won't go through in fourth gear. I'll take it in third, check into the right, definitely clear, taking the right lane, signal come off, stick it back on. Important, don't leave it off. You'll pick up a mine if you leave it off. Check your mirrors, centre left, signalling left, following it round. Home, follow the signs for central Milton Keynes. So we're going to drop off the gas a little bit because we won't get too close. So what you've got to say is, I mean, a learner, it could be their first time on the road, it could be they're ready for the test, you don't know. But you won't be too close to a learner, so that's something to remember after you pass your test. You're straight to the end up stalling something. So we're going to go to Buckingham, which is a right turn this time. Centre mirror, right mirror, signal right. We're heading towards Buckingham now. Up down, definitely clear, you carry on going. Now speed back up. So the independent driving is not a hard one. It's a nice, long, flowing one. It's quite good roads to drive on. But you just need to remember it's a reasonable speed. At the moment, fifth gear again, doing 55 on a 60 on the road. Red cars, thinking of it, waiting. Easy, move forward. See, if you were doing 40 on here, it would be too slow. It's a clear road, it's not raining, it's not dark. If you're going too slow, you're going to start picking up lines on your driving test. Reasonable for appropriate speed. So Buckingham, right outside, right turn, centre mirror, right, signal, braking, use the hill to help you, select the gear, check to your right, definitely clear, carry on going, slowing through the roundabout's quite nice. That's what they want to see. They want to see someone who's not going crazy with speeds. Check your mirrors to the left, across. They had a car on the left then who was racing through on the left. As soon as they indicated, it's on the fourth of gas. You're going to shoot past me on the right now. We're in a bit of a rush then it was. You should know better. You don't overtake people, it's dangerous. So yeah, just what you know your driving test. We're not after crazy fast people. We're after people who are safe, who do reasonable speeds at the right times, who use the gears correctly. We were looking at the right places for the approach things, we're using the mirrors correctly. So now we're going to follow signs for central Milton Keynes. So it's on the second sign because it's not an area, it's a place. Centre mirror, left mirror, central Bletchley, I apologise, central Bletchley then. I was thinking about something else then. Nice and clear, following it round. I remember a lad doing this test route about 4 or 5 years ago, and he's driving along, everything's going fine. At this point the independent driving ends, they tell you, and the independent driving ended and he's doing fine, and the examiner just made a little note on his test sheet, and the lad looked over at what he was doing and swerved and failed for swerving. And I said to him, why did you look at him? Because he was writing something. Well, he'll tell you at the end what he's writing. So he failed for being nosy basically. So the only thing you can get out of there is just concentrate on your driving. That's what you're there to do, not to watch what the examiner's up to. We're going to take a left turn, centre mirror, left, signal in, slow yourself down. That's it. And then we're going to pull over on the left by the lamppost, checking your mirrors, no one around, no signal, slowing down, gentle on the braking, stopping. Now, on this part of the route, you could get a parallel park in front of you, you get one further ahead, or they could ask you to do an emergency stop, in which case they'll pull you over like we did then, and they'll say to you, I want you to do an emergency stop, drive like normal, and they'll talk you through it. Or you could get a turning road. Okay, so we're just going to move on from this point. There's no point in doing the manoeuvre really on this one. So we're checking round, and I'm right shoulder, and I'm bringing myself out, looking at the road, and I'm carrying on. So we've completed 2/3 of the route already, and we're just carrying on going down there. And all you got ahead of you now is some lefts, rights, junctions, and given ways. There's a bit more meter traffic. So you've already covered most of the route. But what you've got to say to yourself is, and this is what people do, is when they come back sometimes and I say, how did you get on with the oh, it's an easy route. I say, right, okay then. Well, if it was that easy, why have you picked up these little minors? Yeah, well, I thought it was easier, and I just relaxed too much. And what you've got to say is, you're driving, so you've got to concentrate. And after a while, yeah, you'll get used to the little quieter areas, you can relax a bit there. But when you're on your driving test, you just got to make sure you keep your focus, keep concentrating, and remember, you're there to drive. You're there to show the examiner that you can do the right things, be safe, and you're good enough to take the test and pass. So it's not particularly hard driving around this bit, it's just lefts, rights and junctions, heading back to the test centre. So we're driving down to the end, looking at the road, got left turn at the end, checking your mirrors, signalling, slowing down, and not taking any chances. The amount of times I've sat in the back of tests, and the last 5 minutes people pick up loads of little faults, and you tell them, and I'm sure there'll be instructors out there saying the same thing. Oh, I've told them all. Just like here, you're going to go ahead at the roundabout, you can't see, slow down. See, it's clear, but if you don't slow down, you don't know. And the amount of times people, the last 5 minutes of the test, they pick up faults because they're going too fast. And what they do, they've looked at the time and realised they've been out for 35 minutes or 30 minutes, and it can't be long. Do a right turn here, it can't be long before the end of the test. And they recognise an area, whether this is in Milton Keynes, which is what this route is, or whether they're in a different route, different area, different part of the country, it doesn't matter. It's probably the same thing. There'll be easy and hard routes, and they'll be speeding up at the end of the test. And you just got to say, drive like I normally do. Otherwise, I'm going to pick up a silly series for not slowing down at a closed junction and the car coming and I've hit the brakes that hard, I've gone past the white line where I should have given way. You just need to take your time and drive at a reasonable speed. That's what you've been taught. That's how you drive normally. So it's not particularly hard. I'm using third gear, doing 28 mile an hour. Everything's cruising along nicely. I've got a right turn coming up on a bend there, so it's check them centre right, signalling, looking at the road, it's definitely clear. That grey car is definitely waiting for me. Bringing it round. And we've got two little things to do here. We've got a right turn at the junction, followed by a first left. Mirror signal right, slowing down, not taking chances at the end. So it's not worth rushing out, and I'm waiting for a safe gap because it's quite busy. It looked quiet on the approach. As I got there, it got busy. So I'm just waiting safely, keep checking. The important thing is you're in first gear ready, and you're waiting, you're checking. And I'm going to make a move at this point. So I was only there about 20 seconds, 25 seconds. Mirror signal left, change that gear after I've done all the work. And then before you know it, you're pulling over on the left for a hill start right at the end of the test. The lights give you hill starts at the end. Handbrake, first gear, you're moving off. Take your time, gas biting point. Right signal's back on at that point. You're looking up the road, going round the car. Yeah, they catch people out at the end. No, it's not there to trick you, but they catch you out because you're rushing. So whenever you pull over, handbrake, neutral, cancel that signal. Oh, they've asked me to pull off. Get myself ready. Hill start, a little bit more gas, a little bit more clutch on, so you feel a bit more tug at the biting point, so you don't roll backwards. If you're enjoying this video, have a look at the video on other test routes. So I'm slowing down to pop myself back in. I'm looking at the road. It's definitely slowing down for me. I'm going to do a right turn at the roundabout. Slowing down because it looks busy. Checking. I'm definitely making a move. Now, see how busy it's got here, right near the test centre? Time of day. Everyone's coming out of schools in the area. So you just got to say, right, I can't go fast. Keep a little bit of space. Keep looking at the road. Don't copy the car in front of you, because he might be taking a chance. Make sure you can see what's going on. So I'm coming out. Bring himself back in. See how they come in? There's just a car coming. I couldn't see it, but I could just see enough to get out. But quite a few people make mistakes because they follow the car in front of them or follow the bus. When you're supposed to be really giving way to cars, because if you go around something, then you're in the way. Mirrors to the left, signal left, back to Milton Avenue. Watch this man at the end. Is he going to step right out? See, right at the end of your test. If you're not paying attention, you're going to get a series for not slowing down. And that was right at the end, so that's a good reminder of why you've got to keep on the ball, why it's important, because you would have failed if you hadn't slowed down. Because as I turned, then I could see him walking, so I anticipate the fact that he's not going to stop. So I started braking to slow down. By doing that, you're telling the examiner you're aware of the danger. So as he started turning, I started braking more. And he didn't stop, he just a quick glance over his shoulder. One day he'll do that and someone's going to hit him, unfortunately. Hopefully it won't be someone we know. You take care, and remember, safe driving. Take care, bye.